Meri Atelier, and it is Friday evening. It is time to do some art. Yes, he says no. I say yes. Let me zoom out just a little here. Oops. Flip my camera a little. Hello and welcome, 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 welcome to my desk. Friday, March 10th. My goodness, how the days go by. I was working on this journal page for March, and this is actually the inside. The inside actually has April's cover too, but that will be for April. Here is the signatures for March in here. There we go. And yeah, this was done for Giovanna, bunny rabbit for Giovanna. I drew it upside down and she took a picture of it and sent the picture back to me. And so I put it in my journal, but look at all this blank space I have. I better get busy. Oh, we did a bobblehead doll. Let me get into my stream here and welcome folks in. I probably will not be on very, very late tonight. I've been trying to catch up on my sleep. I tell you, I've been napping during the day the last few weeks, and I'm going to try to stop that, napping during the day. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so awake at night. Hi, Becky. Hi, Arlene. That's perfectly okay. You just take care of yourself. But thanks for coming in and saying hello. Hi, Elvis. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Melody. Welcome, Melody. Hi, Angie. I know Angie is helping Keisha out. Keisha's Creations is on today, her marketplace. I was in there a couple hours ago. I just happened to say, oh, I forgot Keisha's on. And so I walked in just as she was selling this genealogy book. Oh my goodness, you guys. I probably paid a bit more than I should have for it, but it's awesome. It's an awesome book because it's got all these written letters and text and everything in it. Now it's a repro. It isn't the original letters and everything, but it's still awesome. And I bid on it and I won the bid. Yay. And then I bought a few things from Deb Farrow, I believe. Deb's got a new laser cutter and she was doing these little wooden pieces. Awesome. Awesome, awesome stuff. So welcome. I am going to do tassels tonight. Had done, and I didn't bring it in, but I made this little tassel, and I'm going to make St. Patrick tassels, and I've already tatted some pieces here. Now I should probably get a piece of white paper out so you can see. White, dirty white. But these are what's going to go around the band and hang down, these little 3-piece shamrocks. And I did a shamrock with the stem. I did a stem, and it was really, I did with 6 petals, so it would look like there were 2 hearts. And I can't find it. It's out in my recliner someplace. But I thought I would do, I've got enough for 3, and then I started some little hangers. And let's see. This is going, the bobby pin embellishment is going to Lori. I'll probably give Lori a tassel. And I might give Lori, I made this in my, what stream? What was it? Wednesday morning stream? I made this steampunk, wax seal. And I believe this is a glue stick wax because it's that silver color of wax. And I was playing with the Hobby Lobby wax, and Dee Dee had sent me these little brad stars, and I had a tear of green fabric. So that's just kind of like a little Medal of Honor, I guess, a steampunk one. That's going to go to Lori. And I put all my seals in a baggie here. And here's another. I'm going to make some little, this was a clover, and this is kind of a messy one. I'll probably keep that. Let's see what I have here. This one's going to go to Lori. Lori won a giveaway, and I'm still putting the giveaway stuff together for her. And is this my other bobby pin one? One of these bobby pin ones is staying with me for my March art journal. So I did a little clover. I'm calling these clovers, and I'm putting them on a gold coin. So I'm going to give one to Lori and this, and then I'm going to make a tassel. And I think I have something else I'm going to put in there, but I'm not going to tell her what it is. Oops, I was going to give myself a super sticker. Hi, Melody, with all those green hearts. St. Patrick Arts. Did you guys see Tim's post where it was March 10th and he put M-A-R-1-O and it looks like it's spelling Mario. And he's March 10th, Meridel Day. Let's see. Let me refresh my chat here. Hi, Joyce. Welcome, Joyce. Good to see you guys. So I need another little tat like this to do at least one of these tassels here. I thought I had them out here, but it doesn't look like I do. So let me, it does not take long to do one little tat. So what I plan on doing is having two up at the top, and then my tassel, and then one of these around the band of the tassel. And I might put a little charm on there depending on how far I get. So let's just hurry. Oh, I do have another one. I do have enough to make a, right? Did I put that other one over here? If I have enough to make a tassel, I'll make my tassel first. I scrunched them all up. This. No, I can't find it now. I guess I don't. Or do I? No, I guess that was the same one. So let me just, I'll just make one little ring here. And we'll make a tassel. And I want to make at least 3 of them tonight. And I'll probably give one away, and I'll send one to Lori, and I'll keep one for myself. And this might be all I get done tonight. We'll see. I want to work in my journal. And you love the green. I can't wait to see the tassels. Okay, well, let me thread this. And making one tassel by itself is not hard. It takes about approximately a yard. You'll have a little left over, but I just let that leftover be because, you know, it's always better to snip off than to not have enough. So I'm going to cut it off of the ball, and maybe a kind of a quick review for those of you who, I think Nancy Gill posted a tassel that I think she made a clover, and she's doing a great job of it. And Lori Pink Girlie's been tatting along with me. And I think Joyce said she ordered the needles, and somebody else ordered needles or said they were going to. I consider myself a beginning tatter. Hi, Rhonda. Welcome, Rhonda. Good to see you. So to make a ring by itself, just get about a yard of thread, thread your needle, and because I'm only making one ring, I don't need very much of a tail thread out of my needle, just enough to go through the double stitches. And you just kind of grab the thread between your index finger and the thumb, and then wrap it around and over your other index finger, and you get your needle underneath of that, just like that. And that's the first leg of the double stitch. The double stitch is the only stitch you'll need, and it has 2 legs. So we did the first leg, and then you wrap your thread. For the first leg, you wrap your thread over your index finger, and for the second leg, you wrap it under and over, and then you come under and grab it, and that's one double stitch. So I'm just going to kind of go through these kind of fast because I want to do the tassel. I'm not really showing how to tat here. I'm not a fast tatter. Some of these people, if you watch them online, oh my goodness. Huh? What did you just do? Oh. And so now I'm going to make the picot, and so I'm just kind of holding my finger there and not letting it go down. And I don't have to worry about joining because I'm only making 1 ring. So I'm going to do 4 more double stitches. So there's 1 and I call my second leg the and. So I'm ready for 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now on these rings, I'm putting 3 little loops. Oh, do I have 3 loops on this one? I don't. We'll just, I thought I had one where I had 3 loops. Well, we'll just make them with 1. We got 3 picots, but sometimes they put 3 picots up at the top, and that's what I was going to do on these. But since that one only has 1 at the top, we'll do it that way so that they'll match. I don't want to sit here and tat all night. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm ready to do my last picot. So I just kind of hold it, don't let my thread slide down. Now then I let it slide down to make the loop. I don't know if you guys can see it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I told Arlene this morning, she had messaged me and said that she probably wouldn't be in the live this morning, and I had already decided I wasn't going to go on, and I had told her, well, I think I'm going to clean up behind my chair today. I didn't get a cotton picking thing done today. I've been so lazy, you guys. I've been lazy. All right, I'm going to make the ring. I'm just going to pull the needle through the stitches and catch that bottom loop. Put my needle through the bottom loop there and just pull it tight. And it'll form its own little ring here. Just kind of gently pull on it. You might have to straighten it out a little here so that all the stitches are facing the same way. And there's our ring. Now I'm going to use these to make the top handle. And that when I put my needle through that bottom loop, it kind of forms its own knot, but I kind of like to make a extra knot in it just to catch it. And there we go. So I'm going to make the tassel next. So what I'm going to have here, I'm not going to cut this off right away. I'm going to have two little rings up at the top of the tassel as kind of the holder. And then let me grab I'm going to have the tassel, and then I'm going to have a piece that goes around the tassel and hangs down. And I may put a charm on there. I don't think I have any clover charms. So let's go ahead and make our tassel. And to do that, I need a fair-sized piece of cardboard. Ah, look what I have. I think I can just use this. Let's straighten this out a little. And I was just going to make it out of thread. However, I have, where did I put it? Is it over here? Yes. I have this, which is called Sari ribbon that I got on Amazon. Don't ask me what I paid for it. I think I'm going to use some of that in here. I don't know how much. So I'm just going to kind of wrap it around, well, maybe that much, because that's how much I had left here. I really want it primarily green. And then I'm going to take my thread off of my ball here, and we're just going to wrap it around. And let me get this other one out of my lap. Put this one in. And we're just going to wrap it around several times. So we're making maybe about a 5-inch tassel. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about a 5-inch tassel here, which is about just about right. But we want a whole bunch. We want it more green than white. And I can cut this shorter if I don't want it at 5 inches. We'll see. And I want it more green than white. I just got the white in there just for a little bit of accent color. What's everyone up to tonight? Rhonda wants to know. Hi, Ginger. Welcome, Ginger. What is everyone doing tonight? Becky, have you tried out your new seals yet? Your new seal stamp yet? Stamping tool? I found it in Becky's wish list on Amazon, so I said, oh, she needs to join the fun. And I actually got it for her before I knew it was her birthday. So it worked out perfect. I don't know. Becky was here. She might be busy doing something. Hi, Lori. Lori, I'm going to have to make myself stay awake. And after some of my streams, I was telling them that I'm going to concentrate more on staying awake during the day and not taking those Angie naps, because I think that's kind of one reason why I'm so awake at night. I've been having trouble getting to sleep at night. And that's one reason why I have my online schedule has kind of gotten messed up. Lori, you won the giveaway the other day, and I'm trying to get it all ready for giveaway stuff to send you. Elvis says, Rhonda, what I'm doing is trying to keep warm as I watch Meri. Ginger says she's relaxing tonight. Rhonda says, I think everyone has pooped. I know. I brought my little needle case in. Ruth Lamb made this for me. I haven't seen Ruth for a long time. Ruth, where are you at? I'm missing Ruth. She made me this needle case. And I generally keep it out by my recliner. But we're going to, I brought it in tonight because I knew I was going to make tassels. I just love that needle case. She did an excellent job. Let's cut off a good amount here. And bring my thread up to here. And we're going to take this off. Lori said, like an infant, sleep schedule is off. Yes. Don't stress over your win. Well, I have several mails that I need to get done. I have those face envelopes sitting out on the dining room table that are all addressed except for they're all sealed and ready to go. I need to put the addresses of the people they're going to on them. I got them all sealed and my return address on them. But I haven't gone out all week, you guys. It's been kind of snowy here. Whoops, that's not going up at the top. I want it up at the top. Come on. This up at the top. Well, I'm going to cut it off and I think it'll go up at the top easier. So I'm just going to cut it down here at the bottom. I've got it looped in there. So I'm just going to cut it off here and take it off of the cardboard and fold it in half. And then can draw this. Where's the other one? Wait. Hold it. There's this one. Where's the end of it? Oh, it's on the... Let me tie a knot. Let me tie a knot in here. Get a hold of this. There we go. Becky said, I need my head examined. I've started another crochet along with Expression Fiber Arts, but I'm using a much cheaper yarn than they are, as their beautiful yarns are just outside of my budget. Yeah, I know. I found a little zipper. You know how you and Shannon did those little crocheted purses with the zipper? And I found a little zipper that I want to use for it, but I've been putting it off because I want to get what I'm working on done. And I'm doing all this tatting stuff. And let's see. I think I'm going to knot this before I get it so much that I'm just going to push it back up through the top here. And let's knot it up here. So this is going to be kind of a St. Patrick's tassel. Now this is sari and thread. Sari ribbon and thread. And it looks like I got more. Shake it out a little. Let's push this one back through again and let it become part of the tassel. Hi, I said hello to Melody. Lori said she's a yarn snob. Yeah, yarn is pretty expensive these days. But I posted a video in Fibdiggity of this lady who was using Dollar Tree yarn, and she said it's made by Premier, and she said they're known for a pretty good yarn, and she was making those little amaguri animals. And well, I don't know what one that is. Doggone it. I'm going to pull it back through. Thread my needle again and put it back through again. She designed a little teddy bear, and it was really cute, and she used dollar store yarn, and I'm tempted to go get some. And she didn't make one, but I was watching Ryan Hall, y'all, the weatherman, and in one of his, where he was selling his weather station or whatever he was selling in his merch store, he zoomed away from the weather map, and as he did, he showed this little amaguri doll of him. And I'm going, oh, a people amaguri. I don't think I've ever seen a people amaguri before, and it was made to look like him. And I'm going, wow, that's really cute. Now I might like to do that of maybe some famous people, an amaguri of George Washington or Abraham Lincoln, or something like that might be fun. I'm not so much into wanting to do. Now see, I'm wanting this more. I guess I should have spaced out my threads a little bit more, but I guess it's okay. I got all the green in front and all the white at the back. Well, let's even it up a little more here. There. I guess I kind of like it, all the green at the front. I'm not sure I do, though. I might keep this one for me and do just green tassels for. I want to do a giveaway. How many people are in here? 28. Let's go ahead and finish this tassel, and then I think I'll have the giveaway. Now, if I put this green over here where all the white is, though, it'll show up. So let's do that. We'll make this the front. Oh, I kind of like that anyway. So this has 2 threads. And I didn't know what I was going to do with these when I made them. I just made little 3. I've been putting them on my bobby pins, but I kind of like to use them on different things. So let's just kind of wrap this around a couple times. Maybe I'll do that with my needle. Hold on. Where did it go? Here. Let's thread this smaller needle. And now, there's always one side that's prettier than the other because of the way I knot it. So I'm going to put this through the tassel if I can. And give it a little grip in there. And just pull it through. And then I'm going to pull it out. And then I'm going to wrap this other one around a couple times. And this one that I just threaded, where did it go? Right here. Around this way a couple times. And I'm going to tie it in the back. I guess I'm going to call all the green thread the back and all the white where the tassel is, the little tad is, the front. And I got to get a hold of it here. I need that white under me again so I can see things. And I'm just going to do a shoelace knot and tie it tight. And tie it tight again. Come on, get in there. I always have troubles with that when I'm doing that, through the loop there. Through the loop. There, and we're just going to let those fall down. So my tat is right here. Oh, right where that is. Well, that can't be helped. Right like that. I kind of like that. I might try to find a little silver charm. I don't have one out with me. Kind of like that. Now these two are going to be the hangers, and I left threads hanging on them because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them. But I'm going to thread the threads of this through the top picot of this one. And I think I'll do that again with that. What did I do with this little needle? See if I can get both of these threaded. I have to cut it off even. Hi, Pecker Diane. Good to see you. I'm going to have a giveaway in a minute. I don't know if I'll give this tassel away. I might. I'm going to make 2 more tassels tonight. One of them's going to be a giveaway, and I'll give away the one that I think is the best. But I'm going to have the giveaway while there's 31 people in here. So while everybody is in here and still awake, toward the end of my stream, because it gets to be kind of late and people get tired. All right, so I threaded these 2 end threads through the bottom picot, and let me pull it tight here. And I'm just going to kind of tie a little knot. I'm going to go back through the picot here and pull it tight. So these 2 will kind of form a hanger like so, but I've got to pull it tighter, so I want it to pull together is what I want. Hold on. It's hard to see when I'm seated at my table here. Okay. Now I think I want a knot though. So I'm going to knot this. Come back through it again. Kind of hold on to that. Pull this through. Come on. It's through, and then I'm going to come back through this loop. And that'll give me a little knot to tie those 2 together. And I'm not saying that's a beautiful way to do it, but I just want a hanger. I want a hanger between them. And there's a little space there. I may put a charm there. Maybe I'll leave this thread hanging for a minute. Maybe I'll put a charm up here or a button or a bead. And these, I dropped my needle. These bottom threads are going to go onto the tassel. But let me cut them even before I thread the needle. Hi, Kellyanne. Hi, Sherry Van. Becky said, I'm setting my project aside for the night as my eyes are tired. Becky, let me tell you, you said that you don't have that beautiful, expensive yarn, but your crocheting makes up for any non-expensive yarn. You do beautiful work is what I'm saying. So you could take the Dollar Tree yarn and make it into something gorgeous. All right, let me pull this tight and let me knot it up here. Yeah, this is going to need a bead or something in the top. I want to tie it onto here and go through this. So now I've got a hanger here, and so you can see my little Picasso loop here is holding the tats together. Yeah, and it's holding the hanger onto the tassel. And then I'm just going to take the rest of this thread and put it through the tassel and let it hang down with the rest of it. So I'm just kind of pulling it through the center of the tassel like that, and we'll cut it off. I got it caught on the loops. Hold on. It's caught on the loops. There. How did that fall through there? What did I do? Well, let me pull that out again. Oh, I see. Those are the two that are holding it together. That's where I'm going to put the other charm onto this. I'm going to put a charm onto these. But they got tangled in there somehow. It got swirled. I don't like it at all. I can always pull it out. Hold on. I haven't cut it off yet. What happened here? I can't see. I can't see it. That's the problem. Can't see why that went down so far down. It happened when I put it through the center. Let me pull that back out. Oh, I see what I did. See what I did? I caught this big thread around the loop. Let me pull that out. And it pulled it down there. Now, this has to stay up there. It'll be okay. Now, let me put this. I'm glad I didn't tie that off. It'd help if I would thread my thread through the eye of the needle instead of the point of the needle. Let's cut this off. So there's a lot of things that you can do with tatting other than making doilies. Doilies are fine, but you know, you can only, in our day and age, you can only have so many doilies. Doilies are nice. Doilies, I could see making coasters, and I don't know if I'm going to get both of those through without getting it up to my, let me get this up to my face. You can put your tatting on bobby pins and paper clips and dolls. Let's get this out of the way. I don't want it to go through there. Oh, let's try this again, putting it through the center. There we go. So, I don't know if I like all the length in here, so I might take this and tie it down a little bit more when I put on the charm, but for right now, I'm going to leave it. I don't have my charm thread at hand, but I'll put a charm on here. Well, I might have something in that Hobby Lobby box. But I want to go ahead and do the giveaway while we still have people. If you're out there lurking and want a chance to win a tassel, I don't know if I'll give this one away because it's my first one. But I'm going to make 2 more tonight. And it's got tatting. It's got a tatting here at the band. And then it's got a tatted hanger. And I think I'm going to tie these a little bit closer, maybe on my next one. This one seems kind of long and a lot of space in there. I have this that I can tie these closer if I want. Or when I put my charm on, I could put a charm in there. So this one might just be the experiment one. But I'm going to go ahead and have a giveaway while there's still a lot of people in here. Let me get out here to get it set up. I wasn't planning on, I think I'll just do the random org thing because that seems to be easier. Let me get out here to random org on my random .org space sequence because I'm not set up to do the comment picker. Random org sequence generator right there. Okay, so we've got 28 people in here. Let me get a sheet of paper. Well, no, I don't want to write on that one. Let's write on this one. Let's fold it in half. I'll put it in my journal, in my March journal. Or I should just write in my March journal. Let's just write it in my March journal. And then I'll have it. Oh, I thought that was the, let's go to this page and let's write on here. I want to put this paper in here to keep it from messing up. Grab a pen. So this is the Tat and Tassel. I should throw these pins away. I keep pulling them out and saying I keep pulling the dry ones. Let's do it in green. Tat and Tassel giveaway, and I'm only giving away 1 tassel. Lori, I'm going to put one in a tassel in your Happy Mail, so you can play. But if you're out there, Lori, and you want to participate, pick somebody in the stream tonight to play for. And this is 31023, and there's only going to be 1, and the range, there's 31 people in here. So we're going to make it 1 to 100 because that gives you a good number. So don't say anything until I put in the go. And, oh, if you got the number in there, take it out. Don't put in a number before I put in the go. All right, there you go. I'm going to remove the numbers up above. Oh, you're talking about the number of people that are in here. Mine says 34 in here now. And make sure you don't have any duplicates. You can play for somebody. Lori, I'm going to give you a tassel automatically, but if you're out there and want to play for somebody, pick somebody in the stream tonight to play for. And even if they put in a number, they'll just get a second chance. So Lori, if you're out there, give somebody a second chance. And the person who's closest to the number that Random Org picks will win it. And I'll try to get them out. It won't go out tomorrow because tomorrow's Saturday. Post office only open for a couple hours in the morning, and I'm not awake by the time they close. So I'll try to get it out next week. Did Lori hear me? I don't think she heard me. Ginger put in a whole bunch of green snowflakes. Ginger, put in a number. Oh, she did. It's so good to see you guys tonight. It is so good to see you. I miss you guys when I don't come on in the morning. Like this morning, I'll tell you, I was just tired. I was just tired, and I said, I've got to stop this sleeping during the day. And I've got to take better care of myself. Also, you know, in the summertime, I get out and get fresh air and walk around and move. You know, I can't wait for summer to come. Oh, thank you, Melody. You guys, I miss you so much when I don't stream. I miss you so much when I don't stream. You guys are what keep me. I have to say this honestly. You guys are what keep me on YouTube. I wouldn't be around if it wouldn't be for you all. You know, you're just my. I guess I would have other social if I didn't have you guys. I would probably go out and try to socialize a little bit more. But I'm an old lady, you know. I like to sit at home in my leggings and old sweaters, and I like to get dirty and I'll crochet. Leah said, I was so excited when I sat down and saw you were, oh, Leah, you do my heart good. All right, I'm going to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Ginger says, stress relief for me too. I'm laying in my bed and relaxing, watching on my iPad. Yeah, I like to sit in my recliner a lot, and I can't say that I've been watching a lot of streams lately. But you know what I've been watching, you guys? I've been watching those highway patrol chase scenes. I'm going, what makes them think that they can get away? I was watching one, was it in Arizona? Those Arizona cops, man, they don't give up. And I'll tell you, this one guy, he just led them, I'll bet, on a 45-minute chase through. And I know when they go to the residential sections, I'm going to watch out for the kids. And, you know, I'll tell you, talk about, I wouldn't say that really gets rid of your stress, but I've been watching those. Oh. All right, I think I was on 4. 4. Oh, thank you, Leah. 3. Hi, Mary Lou. It's good to see you. You did hear me? Did you play for somebody, Lori? Did you play for somebody? Lori, put in a number for somebody, even if they played. Oh, you did. You put in a 4. Who do you want that 4 to go to? Because you're going to get one automatically in your... You're going to get the one automatically in your Happy Mail. I'm going to make one just for you. If you win it, Lori, you're going to have to tell me who you want to send it to. I think I was on 3. 3, 2. Ginger says, I watch those chases too. And those guys mowing messy yards for free. Aren't those lawn cleanups? Aren't those wonderful? I'm going, wow. 4 is for Allie K. Okay. 1. Stop. All right. It's between 1 and 100, and I'm right there. Let me turn the lights down so you guys can see a little bit better. It's already down, but we'll turn it down. And let me get up here, up to the... And I want to go to the sequence. This is the random org sequence generator between 1 and 100, and the person that is closest to the top number will win. There's only going to be one winner. So I got it between 1 and 100, and I'm going to get sequence, and it's 67. Who is closest to 67? The winning number is 67. Who is the closest? I see a 77 for Dee Dee. Aw, 79. A 57 for Kellyanne. Anybody after 57, between 57 and 67? Oh, 65 for Ginger. 65 for Ginger. Ginger, I need your address. Is it Rogers? Is it Ginger? She had 65. Anybody else between 60? I think it's Ginger. Congratulations, Ginger. I'll try to make you a really nice tassel. Let me type in my email address. And if you tell me specifically that you don't want me to share your address, I won't. I'll put a note on my address book. Other than that, I will share an address with somebody if I know that they're trustworthy. Like, I trust Aunt Beck. And if Aunt Beck messages me and says, Meri, do you have Allie Kay's address? And if I happen to have it, I'll give it to her because, you know, I've known Becky for years. And I don't think Becky would misuse an address. But Becky has her own address book. So, but what I'm saying is, if you tell me specifically, do not share my address or do not share my real name. Ginger has a real name online. I will put a note in my address book, do not share. Because sometimes, you know, somebody wants to send you a happy mail and they're desperately looking all over for addresses. And if I know that person is trustworthy, I will share it. That's my policy on addresses. So just so you know. Congratulations. So let's go make another tassel. Let's see if I can do any better with the next tassel. I think on this one, I like this one a lot. I think I'm gonna try to pull these down a little closer together. And I think I can do that. And then I'm gonna put a charm in there. I want it to look like, and I'll probably keep this one for myself because it's pretty much a study. It looks like these threads are popping out again. See, I can pull these out. So I can use these threads and maybe tie these down a little more. This one will be for me. This one was kind of the play one. But now I have to tell you guys, you're excused if you don't want to stay all night. If you have things to do, I understand. I'm going to need to make 2 more hangers for my next tassel because I only had 2 made here. So, and it doesn't take me long to make these. Let's pull out some thread. And you guys like to watch tatting, don't you? I know it can be kind of boring to some people, but it can be fun to do too. And, you know, I get tired of drawing and painting and all of that all the time. I need to make postcards. Next week is going to be postcard week. I think next week, and I need to catch up on, I promised Janet Burgess that the next animal envelope that I did was going to be hers. She wants an owl, and Cat in the Know wants a beaver. So I got them, and I know Stephanie G sent me a picture of her little dog. I'm on the list. But, you know, I have to do these things. When I'm not motivated to do something, I don't do a good job. Let's put this needle over here. So I have to be kind of motivated, and I'm motivated to make tassels tonight. Now, on my next tassel, I don't know about putting this sari. What do you guys think? What do you think? Should I put the sari ribbon in there along with the thread, or should I make just thread tassels? I think thread tassels will be kind of boring. Just plain thread, all green. maybe I will put the, maybe I'll just do what I want. Maybe I will put in the sorry. Ginger says, thanks everyone. I can use a little sunshine in my life these days. I won a postcard before. It's displayed in my kitchen for a little happiness reminder. Aww. Okay. So all I do is, since I'm only doing one at a time here, I only leave about 4" here, and I cut the thread off of the ball because I'm only going to do one ring. And you leave a little loop in there and hold the thread between your index finger and your thumb. Now, if you crochet, there's 2 kinds of tatting. There's tatting with a needle and tatting with a shuttle. This is needle tatting. And if you crochet, you get the feel of needle tatting real easy. I should get a shuttle and do some of that, but I want to get comfortable with the... And Lori, are you out there? Did you order a shuttle? Are you doing any shuttle tatting? I know Lori is doing some tatting. I don't know if she's tried the shuttle yet or not. 1, and I hope I cut enough off here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now some people put 5 double stitches on first, but I'm using my Picasso as the 5th stitch. So I just leave a little space and I don't let that thread go beyond the top of my finger to make that Picasso. And so this is the first leg of it, and I hold it there with my finger until I get the second leg done here. And then I close it up and that makes the loop. There's a loop in there. Lori said, I ordered a shuttle. It's scary. I should order a shuttle. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And well, I think the needle tatting, I mean, it accomplishes the same thing. It accomplishes the same thing. And if you're familiar with knitting or crochet, you'll be very comfortable with a needle. Or if you do thread crochet too. I should do some thread crochet. I used to do a lot of thread crochet. All right, so I'm going to make another little Picasso, and this will go up at the top. And then I'm just going to do 1 double stitch. And then I'm going to put in a larger Picasso up at the top. So it'll be, I'll have 3 Picassos up at the top. I'm hoping I have enough on here. And then I'm going to do a double stitch. And then another Picasso. So I have those three double stitches. I mean, those 3 Picassos right there will be at the top of my ring. And then I do 4. I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I don't know if I cut off enough thread. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then I'm doing my last Picasso. And now I have to get 4 more double stitches. 1 and 2 and 3. I'm just going to make it, and 4. And I've got about 4 inches, maybe 5 inches of thread up at the top. But your needle thread is the thread that you pull through. So the needle thread is through the eye of the needle here. You pull all your threads down, and you pull this needle thread up through the shank of the double stitches that are on your needle. And oops, I just about unthreaded it. Let's pull those down and pull this up through, and it'll form its little ring. And I hope I can get my needle through there. Boy, I'll tell you, just by the hair of my chinny chin chin, without unthreading that needle. All right, so now I'm going to pull on my needle thread to close the ring. And you just kind of gently pull it closed. You guys can't see for my big fingers, but it is pulling closed. And now you can unthread your needle. Whew, I just made that. And when I put my needle thread through that loop, that formed a knot. And some people don't go any further than that. But I was watching Barbara Foster, and when she does a reverse, she turns this over like this. It's called RW, reverse your work. And it will form between the needle thread and the loop thread. It will form a loop like that. You guys can see that loop, and you can tie another knot through that loop. And that just kind of secures it. And that's what she does. Some people don't like to do this extra knot. I like it because I like it secure, and sometimes I forget it. But you just tie another knot. And there's one ring for my next tassel for the holder. Now let's do another one, and I'm going to pull off a little bit more thread. I'm going to make these tassels all tonight. You want a little over a yard, maybe about 1 yard and 6 inches, or 1 yard and 4 feet. This is probably too much here, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. I just got by the chinny chin chin there. So let's do another one, and then I'll make my tassel. Ginger says, thanks everyone. I can use a little sunshine. Lori said, I ordered a shuttle. It's scary. Ginger says, my cousin tatted choker necklaces and wristbands for my grandnieces. Oh my. Yeah, you can do a lot with tatting other than doilies. Now, I don't have anything against doilies. Don't have anything against doilies, but, you know, I like to use it in my needlework. I like to use it in my art journaling. And I made a shamrock, a really pretty shamrock other than just the 3 loops. And I can't find the thing. It's out by my recliner someplace. I hope I did. I emptied my wastebasket today, and I hope I didn't throw it in my wastebasket. I might have thrown it in my waste, but I'll have to make another one. All right, let's hurry and get this one done. I'll try to do this one fast. So do 4 double stitches. This is 2 and 3 and 4. And then the first picot. Whoops. Some people will put 5 double stitches on. It just kind of depends on your pattern. All right, then 4 more. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now I'm going to do the top set of picots. I'm going to do 3 picots up at the top. And really, you should make 1 short one and 1 tall one and 1 short one, but mine end up, I'm still working on the length of my picots, getting them to look pretty. So here's the first one. Wait, I have to come around this way. So there's 1, and then you do a double stitch between them. And then a little bit larger one. And then a double stitch between those. and then a little bit smaller one again. And then 4 more double stitches. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now we're going to do the last picot on the right hand side. So just loop it up and then 4 ending double stitches. 1 and 2. And I'm not trying, I'm going a little bit faster here because I want to get it done. I'm not really doing this to teach it. Let's see, I think I have to put one more on here. I can't remember. It doesn't hurt. All right, now I'm going to close up the ring. I've got a picot on the right hand side, 3 picots in the center, and a picot on the left hand side. And I'm going to draw my needle thread up through the shank of my double stitches here by just pushing the double stitches down the needle. Just push them down and off the needle, and you're drawing that thread up through the stitches, almost like a bullion stitch for those of you that stitch. Becky got a book of bullion stitches. I'll bet there's some cool things. And then I've got a loop going down here at the bottom, and if you put your needle through that loop, that will kind of form what they call a true knot. And that's as far as some tatters go with it. See, as it's closing up the ring, it forms a knot down here at the bottom when you put that thread through that bottom loop. And you just pull it, you pull your loop tight, you close it up, it'll close up. I got it twisted here. Let me untwist it. Get it cleaned up a little here. There we go. So there's my loop, my ring, and I've got three picots up at the top, 1, 2, 3, and a picot on the left hand, my left hand side over here, and a picot on my right hand side over here. Now I do like to flip this over and make that second knot. I just like to do it. Like that. So now I have my 2 rings. I'm going to make my tassel. So I cut this one a little shorter. What did I do with those scissors? Let's cut this one a little shorter. And I think I'm going to put sari, but I think I'll start out with some thread and then do sari and then do thread again. So I'm going to make my tassel off of this. I've got this, and where's my other ring? Let's put this one out of the way. Where's my other ring? Did I throw it up here? Come on. Where's the other one? I know I did 2 of them tonight. We've got this. It's going to go on the... And this is not going to count. What did I do with it? Come on, I know I need another one. You guys saw me do it. Where did it go off to? Honestly, how can I lose things? Oh, did it get under? No. That's not it. There it is. Well, I don't know if this is it. I might have to make another one. I can't find it. I said it was short and I put it up here. Honestly, I don't know what I do with things. Well, we'll worry about that later. Let's go ahead and make my tassel. Oh, there it is. No? See, this one only has 3 picots. I made 2 that have 3 picots up at the top. I did it right here in front of you guys. Honestly, how do these things disappear? It just gets to me. That's a clover. It's just not here. That's what happened to my shamrock. I make these things and then they just disappear in thin air. They're ghosts. They're not, it's not here. Well, I'll worry about it later. Let's go ahead with this. That's not nothing. Let's go ahead and make my tassel. Maybe it'll show up by the time I'm done. Did it fall in my lap? I don't see it. All right, let's go ahead and make the tassel. So I'm making the tassel off of this. Oh, here it is. Larry the leprechaun stole it. There it is. It got caught on my paper doll. All right, it's found. You guys don't have to sit through it again. Hi, Dana. Hi. Let's see who else. Kathy Whitney and Kellyanne. Ginger said her cousin tatted chokers for the grandnieces. Lori said that she ordered a chatto. I think I'm caught up with chat. I know some of you get tired on Friday nights. I'm only going to be on till 10, so I'm only going to make tassels, I think, tonight. I put too much pressure on myself to make a whole lot of stuff. So I'm just going to wrap this. This is about 5 inches. And on this other tassel that I made first, I put the sari on first, and so it kind of showing in the back. I might keep this one for myself. All the sari is showing at the back and all the threads showing in the front. Well, I made the back the front because I put this little tatted piece on the front here. I put this little tatted piece on the front so it would show up better. But this time I'm going to mix this white is sari silk here, sari silk ribbon. I'm going to keep that one for me. Let's see if I can do these a little better. This one I'm going to put on my thread first here. Let me get my scissors out of the way. And you just wrap your thread around like a 5 inch of a piece of, I'm just using a cardboard. And you just wrap until you think you have enough thread. And you just kind of wrap it around there. And you might not wrap it real tight. Sometimes I have trouble getting it. You know, leave it loose enough that you can pull it off of the cardboard. Sometimes I wrap it so tight that my cardboard holds on to it. And so I'm just wrapping here. Just as if you were winding a thread on a piece of cardboard. And I want this to kind of be the inner part to start off. And then I'm going to put some sari on it, and then I'm going to put more green on top of the sari. I'm going to try to mix this up a little. All right. So that by the time you get the thickness here and the thickness here, that'll make a nice innard. And let me grab the sari. I don't want a whole lot of this because it's fairly thick. So maybe a couple wraps will do it. And it wants to, this is how I bought it. But see, it's been stitched together here. I think I'll take this apart here. Just snip it apart. They stitch it together. Let me just snip this. And I just bought it I didn't buy it to knit or crochet with or anything. See, they have stitched this. Did they stitch it together here? Looks like they did. It looks like there's 2 pieces. So I'm just going to cut I'm just going to cut, and I'll use this on a cluster. And do I have enough here to just make a little innard? I don't need a lot of white. So just a couple wraps, 1, 2, and we're going to let that hang. Let's just cut it there. And then we'll put green on top of that. And this way, I'm hoping that I'll get my green and my white intermixed in the tassel rather than the back being green and the front being white, or the white at the back and the front green, whatever. And so you just kind of wrap it around. You guys have made tassels, haven't you? Dana had a tassel making giveaway, and I have gonna make a tassel for Mina. I keep saying, Mina, I'm gonna make you a tassel with that owl, and I never got it done. Mina is just so patient with me. You know, I should stop saying I'm gonna do stuff for people, because I don't get it done. I'm an old lady, I forget, and I get sidetracked, and I'm blaming it on my old age. You know, that's the nice thing about getting older. You can say, it's my old age. Let's see, I think I need a little more. Yeah, blame it on your old age, Meri. Oh, sometimes it is an old age thing, but it's more or less, for me, I get sidetracked, really what happens with me. I get sidetracked. I get so enthused about everything that's going on. I really do. I want to do this and I want to do that. And ooh, this is neat. And just like Becky said tonight, I don't need another project. I'm starting another crochet project. All right, this time I'm going to leave a little bit more extra green. And you could take an extra thread. You could tie this off. But I like to bring it up. But I'm going to leave quite a bit extra because I want to wrap it a little bit more than I did. So I'm going to leave that much extra. Now I'm going to cut it off. Now, I'm going to bring this up here, and I'm going to thread this. And if you get something that's going to be a tangle, a knot is just a tangle that wants to be a knot. Just kind of shake this out, because what happens here is this kind of lays on top of each other, and when you yank on it, you pull it, and that's what makes your knots. If you kind of shake it out, you'll shake all those tangles out. And I found that with jewelry too. If you're trying to untwist some knotted jewelry, sometimes it's already been pulled tight, but try to shake it out as much as you can. Just shake it out like that. And if it's not knotted real tight, you have a good chance of getting your tangles out. I found that with crochet yarn and with my tatting threads. Let me thread the needle here. And I'm going to take my needle and put it through here, at least enough to hold it together. I like for it to go right up the center, but this cardboard's so thin that my needle isn't going to go right there. It's going to come in here, but I'll pull it up there when I clip this off. So I'm just going to pull it through, and try not to let it tangle while you're pulling. On the longer threads, I have a pretty long thread here because I want to wrap it. And sometimes if you get your finger in here where these two threads are looping, get your finger in there and kind of not let those threads get close to each other. You prevent the tangles. But it depends because it wants to twist. See, you start seeing stuff like this. Just don't let it pull tight. Just kind of work it out. Keep it away from stuff on your desk. Come on, what are you doing here? And I just want to get this through enough to hold it until I get it clipped off. I might go through it one more time. See, I'm trying to keep my hand through these two threads so that they don't pull on each other. And if I didn't have it separated there, they would pull on each other and twist up on each other. There, that's good. Now I just want to, and you can pull this off before you cut it. Just kind of get in it like that, but I kind of like to just cut it. But let's see, let's just see if I can pull it off. Because I've got the thread through here, should hold it from separating. Let's pull it out here. There we go. We don't need that anymore. Now this is the top of my tassel here. And this is the thread that I put through. Grab a hold of it here. I want it up further. Hold on. Where my needle is. Okay, I'm going to kind of hold it there. And I'm going to kind of hold this loop that I made, if I can find the center of it again. It's right here. And because one of my threads is a thread off of here, it's pulling it tight. There. You kind of have to work on it. And get this all nice and straight. And I'm hoping that my tassel, my white threads are not going to all end up on one side. We'll see. Oops, I got out of this. And kind of make your top knot there. To kind of work at it. And then take your thread, kind of hold it there, and you're going to start wrapping it around the top part here. And just kind of wrap it around. And that's why I cut my thread extra long, because I want to do a nice wrap here. And you can see right in here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but right in there is the thread that came off of the top here, and it comes down there when I start wrapping it. I personally don't mind that. If you mind that, you could just tie your thread up here and put it down through and then start with another thread to wrap. I don't bother with that. Kind of wrap it like you're wrapping a spool of thread. And I've got plenty on my needle yet. I probably got about 2 yards left on my needle. Probably have more than I need. We're going to leave it probably about 1.5 yards. All right. So I'm going to come up through here up through the center. Here's my needle here. And sometimes I need my pliers to get through, but it's coming through. And it's caught on something. It's caught on something here. There it goes. Pulling it up through. Shaking my tassel out. I got a nice wrap on there, and my, yeah, I think I'm gonna like this. We'll see. We'll see how it works. And where's my needle here? I'm gonna tighten this a little more in here because I got all this extra thread. And yet, if the more you make these, the more you'll find out what works for you and what doesn't. I just do what works for me. And they usually turn out looking something like a tassel. Now, I've got probably a yard and a couple inches left on this tassel, on this needle. Let's see if I can't work with these, the hanger, or I should have put that on there. I'm going to go back down through here. I've got so much thread in here, I can do this. Let's cut this first, though. So I'm going to cut my threads in here. And this time I'm going to cut through all these loops like this. Just trim it off and cut through my ribbon loops here. There. I only had a couple of them. And cut through these threads. This tassel is going to be a little shorter. Oh, what's going on here? See, these threads are in the center here too. The center threads. I probably should have cut it before I pulled it off of the... But just make sure you have all your loopies cut. And you should have enough tie here and loop in there that your threads won't pull out. I have a feeling if you yanked and yanked and yanked on these, that they would pull out, but you shouldn't be yanking on them. All right, let's trim this up a little. And let's get these other scissors. These are dull. Where's my other ones? I need to sharpen my scissors. Those of you that cut hair probably do a better job of this than me. But I try. And I think I like where my threads, my ribbon is a little more interspersed. It's a little thick in there, but it's a little more interspersed in the tassel. So now I'm going to go back down through here. I want to put this, whoops, not this. I want to put, get these off of my desk. I want to put the little green tri-tat on here, the tri-ring free ring. And let's see, what am I going to call the front and the back? I think I'll put it right in. I think I'll put it right in here because it seems like there's more white there and it'll show up better. And I think I'll put it on this way. Like this. And get this thread out of the way. And I'm going to unthread my needle here. So I'm going to thread this one. Thread this one in here, and I'll figure out where it's coming from here. I want to put it through. I'll just put it through. I don't know if I can get it through there. There. I don't want to get it mixed up with that. There we go. And then we got this thread. I'm just going to wrap it around. I'm not going to thread it through. I'm just going to wrap it around. I'm going to tie it onto this other one. And that will kind of tie my tatting onto the tassel. I'll get rid of my needle again. I want to tie these two together. Get this other thread out of the way. And I'm just doing a shoelace knot. Come on, come on. This is the hardest part for me, is getting this thread back through the loop. Get in there. There. Let's give it another knot. And just for safety's sake, let's do it again. I like to put a lot of knots in there. And still sometimes, now this is cotton thread, so cotton thread will not work out as much nylon and rayon thread. If you could tie a million knots, and look, I got that little loop in there. I don't know where that came from. Oh, that's this. It's got a knot in it. It's knotting up in there someplace. How come it's not pulling through? It's right in there. Pulls through until it gets right down to that bottom one. Well, let's pull it out because my needle's not threaded anyway. There. Okay, so now we have the little tatted piece on here. And I like that a lot. Let's take a break. let's take a break. Let's shake out the tassel. I might have to trim this green thread a little more. I'll take a chat break here. Shake it out. I might have to trim that green down a little more. I don't know. I kind of like it longer. Hi, Beth Schuler. You have your mother's shuttle. Do you, Beth, do you tat? Kathy says, I'm going through old curd jar full of my grandmother's buttons last night. They are my treasure. Oh, Kathy, on Marketplace, I'm going to pick them up next week. I bought a jar of white buttons. Well, it's a bag of white buttons. I don't know how big it is, but I bought a bag of just white. They're probably plastic buttons, but they're all different sizes. I can't wait to get them. Paid $10 for them on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim this down a little more. I can see by looking at my tassel there. You remember watching your great-grandmother make lace? No, not yet. Well, Beth, get busy. I'll bet you could do some nice things. Start slow. I'm starting slow. I'm starting with the needle tatting. And the very first thing I started was making the double stitches. And once I got comfortable with that, and I journaled them. I made me a tatting journal, and I'm journaling my progress. Barbara Foster's Learn to Tat book is what I'm using. But she starts out teaching you how to pull the thread out and cut it off of the ball. And then when you join your tats, you only have one thread going between the rings. But when you work on the ball, and she calls that what? Ball and thread, I think, tatting. And you can do up to 5 or 6 yards that way of thread, but you're working with awfully long threads. But then when you work on the ball, when you don't cut your thread off of the ball, it is so much easier. And you could do just a thread, but they do double stitches to make it, they call it ball and chain. And I don't like to get out her book because I figure, that's her instruction book. But I can kind of paraphrase it. I have examples of both. And I followed Barbara Foster, so I learned how to make my chain, and then I learned how to make the ring and how to pull the ring closed. And then you learn how to make a second ring and join them. And if you go slow, don't try to be your grandmother who probably tatted all of her life, and she can go, and now you watch some of those tatters online, those experienced tatters, and man, their hands are flying. She says, I know, I will go back and watch your replays. I'm just doing the needle now. The shuttle tatting, if you're trying to tat with the shuttle, I would find a tutorial online, because that's what I'm going to do when I finally get the shuttle tatting. I tried a shuttle many, many years ago, and I really didn't like it. A shuttle, you have your thread, and you have your shuttle, and you go over, and you go under, and you go over with your shuttle, and that's how you make your double stitches. When you're using a needle, you have your thread here, you're going under and then back through, and your over and unders are done with your needle. It's you have the same thing generally. I think you wind up with the same thing. Some of it may be a little different. What did I do here? I shook it up. What did I do? I'm going to have to make sure this is nice and neat. But yeah, go slow. And once you do it, it's kind of like crocheting. It's kind of meditative. I like to tat while my brother's watching TV because the TV's so loud I can't think. So, I try to do that while he's watching TV because I can't watch videos or go online or anything. So I like to either crochet or tat while he's watching his TV. Kathy said, I like watching others tat, but I don't think I could do it. my brain doesn't remember well enough anymore. I think it would be really frustrate me. Well, Kathy, to tell you the truth, I think you would do really good because you crochet. You would probably do really good with the needle tatting. You only have one stitch to remember. And once you do it 5 times, and once you learn how to make the ring and join them, it's the same thing. It's repetitive. It's over and over and over. There's a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to do it, but once you learn it, it's like you've learned to make a granny square. And now I'm still learning. I'm there. You can make it a lot more complicated, but your basic things are pretty repetitive. Now making a doily might be, a little bit more frustrating, but I'm not making doilies yet. I want to do bobby pin stuff for every month. Like I'm doing the clovers for bobby pin embellishment clovers. Like this is a clover on a coin. It's just 4 rings joined together, and I put it on a coin. I'm going to send one of these to Lori, and I'm keeping the other one for myself. But in March, I'm going to do a flower, I think. In May, I'm going to do a butterfly. And there are tatting patterns online. Somebody did a bunny one. It's really cute because it's got the long ears and the long body. And, it's got a little tail down at the bottom. So I might try to do some simple patterns that I find online, but I'm not ready for that yet either. Lori says, I think I might be too dyslexic for a shuttle. I might be too, Lori, to tell you the truth. And the other thing that bothers me about the shuttle is you wrap your thread around that little bobbin. And I'm going, well, is that like your needle thread? And then are you tatting off of this? Yeah, it almost have to be. So that bobbin thread has to be like my needle thread that I have going off over this way. And you probably tat off of the thread off of the ball over here. It may not be that bad, but I just find the needle awfully easy. I associate it with the crochet hook an awful lot. You've seen a lot of tatted angels. Oh, those would be pretty too, tatted angels. Maybe around November or December, I'll be ready for an angel, Ginger. Yeah, doesn't the button jar sound, what did Ginger say? Mama tried a lot of crosses. Let's see, Ginger said, Mama tried a lot of crosses to give, tatted a lot of crosses to give away at Christmas. Oh, wow. See, I'm not quite ready for those. To tat a cross, you've got to do, I think I could do I think I could do that, but then you'd have to have the crossbar. I'm not sure how, unless you join those two like that. I'll have to look at some of the cross patterns. Your tassel would make a cute doll. It would make a cute doll, wouldn't it? It would actually make a cute angel in the end, have a little bit shorter skirt here and tat some wings, or we could leave it long and tat some wings. What did I do? Did I leave that other tatting? Here, let me show you. This is some of the things I've been practicing on, but let me tell you, this is practice work now, so not all of it is perfect. You can see some of it's nice and some of it is this piece is the longest I've gone on joining, but then I tried to do these chains on the side and they got kind of sloppy, but still that might make a nice angel wing somehow. Just as a mixed media piece. But I'm going to save it for progress work. And you can see my tatting. My little chains aren't the same size, and some of them are kind of twisted in there. I think I do this part fine, but it's when I do these, look how long this is called a chain here. And see, these are nice and tight and shorter, and this one is really kind of long and sloppy. And then this one is kind of sloppy too. But I tried to tat the chains around it. And yeah, I wouldn't say this is the best example of tatting, but it's my learning experience, and that's why I'm keeping it. Now I'm working another one, which I still have on the, let me pull this off. See, that I'm calling this, I pulled some thread off of that big skein. In fact, it's getting twisty here. Let me twist this back up here. And this, I think I showed this the other night. I think this is much cleaner. A much cleaner. Well, let me get the threads. But then again, my thread is kind of holding it together here. Let me get the threads. This is my needle thread here, and it's all twisted up in there. There we go. So it kind of goes like this, and I got to quit sometime. I've got to quit, but I think my tatting, the lengths of my chains are consistent, and the length of the little picots are consistent. And I think this one's much cleaner, a much cleaner start than this one was. So the more you work with it, you know, it's the same thing. Practice, practice, practice. And you see things just like when you're drawing and painting, especially when you're drawing, you see things you need to work on. And so I don't know if I'm going to come back around. I'd like to come back around this with some chains to close these up, but I have these little 3 picots at the top. So I might just try to attach this maybe to a piece of scrapbook paper or a piece of fabric, and just let it be a piece of like lace edging, or it'd even make a nice bracelet. Ginger said her, what was it, your granddaughter made chokers for your grandnieces? Was that how it went? Something like that. But this to me is just practice. I'm just practicing, and the more you practice, the better you'll get. So there's that piece, and that's wrapped on the piece that I'm tatting off of here. And then I have some other pieces here. I have some, this one I was doing fine until, where did I go here? Oh, I missed what? No, I think I'm okay yet. I did a center. It's kind of going into a spiral. I did one more than I should have. I started here and I worked these chains around this ring, and then I had my last one here, and then I did one, I could try to pull this one out, but see, it's spiraling around again. This one is doubled up on the one beneath of it. This one here should have been my last one. And I might try to pull this one out, but pulling it out is a pain. Or I might just keep it as maybe an embellishment or something, you know, put it in my journal. And then here's another little clover that I made. I've been making clovers. I'm going to make bobby pins. And clovers are just 4, I just do 4 rings together. I wouldn't say this is the neatest one. And this is another clover. This one isn't that great either. It looks like I got it hooked on the wrong one. So I make a lot of mistakes. You know, just be easy on yourself if you're learning. Don't try to, you know, or if you're a perfectionist, be a perfectionist, but don't be so hard on yourself because you're just learning. Becky said that in her Tunisian crochet. You know, remember, when you're learning a new skill, you aren't going to be perfect at it right at first. It's just not going to happen. These two are for my hanger. So I've only got a half an hour left. I will only get this tassel finished. Let me put these back over here. I will only get this tassel finished. Let's chat a little. You know, I don't get to talk to you guys. I get all this extra fuzz. Let me go down to the bottom and chat here. Kathy says, attaching and tatting. That's pretty. Thank you, Kathy. It seems to me that would increase the difficulty level. Lori says, I'm trying to tat on the edge of a piece of fabric. You know, I thought about that, Lori. And is that what you said, that it would increase the difficulty level? Because if you tat while you have the fabric, have it attached to the fabric, you've got to handle that fabric as well as your tatting. I tried this afternoon, I tried to tat off of a shank of a button, a shank button, and I got the loop on there, but it wasn't tight down to the button, and the button got in the way, and I just cut it all off. I said, I'll sew it on the shank of the button. Oh, thank you, Elvis. You enjoy crocheting? Yeah, I love the crochet too. I was following Becky's Tunisian crochet, tatting, and then Becky got a couple ahead of me. She's not that far ahead of me with the her Tunisian crochet. Becky got this book. I don't know if she got it in a giveaway or she bought it I think she bought it in one of her hauls, was bullion stitches. And I'm really interested to see what she does with the bullion stitch. Now, the bullion stitch is where you take your thread, and I'll kind of demonstrate here. I won't do it. But you wrap your thread around your needle like this. So about 12 times, I think. We used to do this when I was cross-stitching with my friends and for samplers. Like, you get a really nice little shank. And you know, on tatting, how you pull your needle thread up through, well, my thread's fallen off down at the end. Let me do this better. You just wrap it around your needle. I think in stitching, you wrap it around 12 times. If you're doing a larger piece, you might want to go more. But you just wrap it around the shank of your needle. Then you have your needle threaded, and just like you pull those rings closed, you pull this thread up through the bullion stitch. And it makes a real pretty little kind of like a, well, I know, a puffed stitch kind of, but it's real pretty. It's a pretty stitch. And when you do several of them together, it's a pretty needlework stitch. And Becky bought a book, and I think she said she got it at the thrift haul. She can tell you where she got it. Let me pull this out. It's getting all twisty. I think she said she got it. I think she got it at the thrift haul, and it's got all these little embroidery designs that they did with the bullion stitch. And I'm real interested to see what she's going to do with that. If she presents any of them online, I might try to work with her a little. Kathy said, I stopped doing the Tunisian crochet of the small squares because of the curling. It would make me nuts. You might go try when Becky did the Tunisian knit stitch. That does not curl bad, because the Tunisian knit, whenever you have Tunisian basic stitch, and then next to it, a Tunisian purl stitch. They work against each other, so they don't, the fabric doesn't curl as much and work a little bit looser. I started using a bigger Tunisian hook than what Becky uses or what they recommend for the yarn, because I crochet so tight that everything curls on me. So I started using a larger needle. I get more of a gap in there, but I stitch so tight that the gap hardly shows. Hi, Kathy. Kathy with the K. Welcome, welcome, Kathy Calico Kate. Good to see you. Kathy, did I properly thank you for all that wonderful happy mail? I just love that one postcard that you sent with those 4 ladies looking through. I don't know if it's a hoop. I don't know if it's a hula hoop or a wheel, but it's a postcard and it's of vintage ladies, and there's 4 of them, and they're all grouped together looking through this hoop. I love it. I absolutely love that postcard. And she sent some vintage ephemera, and she sent some leather ties. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to use those leather ties. Those leather ties would go nice in my cowgirl journal. Yeah, a lot of them do curl. A lot of Tunisian crochet will curl. And about the only way that, well, I can say the only way, one way to do that if you're doing Tunisian blocks is just to do a single crochet around your block, or not a double crochet, a half double crochet around the block. But yeah, I got up to close. I think the last 3 that Becky did, I didn't catch up with because I was teaching myself how to tat. But I like Tunisian crochet. I'll probably pick it up again. I did buy the book, so I have the book that she went through. You have average tension. I'm not a tight crocheter, but the curling is just the way some of them are. Yeah. Yeah, Tunisian crochet, I agree, it tends to curl. Becky did that wonderful little sweater with Tunisian crochet. Just darling little sweater that Becky does. Becky has such a nice tension, all of her blocks. And I noticed too, if you watch Mikey at the Crochet Crowd, I'll tell you, I just admire how his blankets lay flat. I'm still working on getting, the one I'm doing now is he did a snow study, which uses the same stitches that he used in that Christmas and chocolate, that Christmas snow and chocolate, whatever. But he did a study Afghan out of that using those same stitches. And I am so working on not having puckers. In fact, I pulled out about 3. It's just one big square, and you just keep square crocheting the rounds around it. But I think Mikey is very mathematical, because he says, he talks about getting the right number of stitches across. And sometimes when I'm crocheting, I either skip a stitch or I double up on one, and it looks good at the end, but when you do the next row, you've either got a pucker or a gap in there. When you skip a stitch, you've got a gap. When you double up on one, you get a pucker. So that's kind of what I'm working on with crocheting, is getting that beautiful flat. And I've been watching people that crochet, and they have these nice, of course, some of them are probably blocked, but they're nice and perfect and straight. And I look at mine and I'm going, pucker, Meri, puckers. And I'm going, yeah, but you wrap it around you. Nobody's going to know that it's nice and straight when it's on your bod. You made a large blanket with a simple Tunisian crochet. It's a nice thick blanket. Oh my goodness. Tunisian, yeah, Tunisian, I think, is a nice thick stitch. almost regardless of what Tunisian stitch you're using, because you do your basic stitch and then you come back with your return row, and that adds an extra thread in there, and it just adds an extra bulk to your which adds extra warmth. um, I would like to do, even if I don't do the Tunisian stitch, I want to do one of those, and they were real popular in the 70s and 80s, where you do long panels, maybe a 12-inch panel of a white, and a 12-inch panel, and long, 4 or 5 feet long, and then a 12-inch panel of a light tan, and then you put those roses in there and you have fringe. I want one of those so bad. But I'm learning. I'm doing that snow study one now, and I'm working on not puckering. Elvis says, no one could teach me to crochet, and I found a booklet in Woolworths when I was a teen. Beginner's Crochet for Lefties, and taught myself. That was in the late 60s. Yeah, sometimes you just have to teach yourself. They were probably teaching you off of a right hand, and you were probably trying to understand it using your left hand. I think I learned to crochet, I think, from one of my little childhood friends. We did the basic granny square. And I was probably in junior high school. And I crocheted in high school. I crocheted in college. I made this beautiful white, and I still have it. It's in storage up in Wisconsin. A white granny square with red and green, and I made a Christmas tree skirt out of it. It was. I think I had red centers, and then green, and then white, and it was all granny square. And I put them all together, except for in a circle type thing, except for I had the tree skirt slit, and I wrapped it around. That really, at the time in the 80s and 90s, kind of a country feel. I really liked that. I'm trying to think what else I made. My mother made this real heavy, dark red granny square. I have that. It's all up in Wisconsin. I couldn't bring it all home. And you know what I did bring home, though? I brought home the quilts. That my grandmother made. I have mine. I have my younger brothers. I have my older sister who's passed away. And then I have my younger brothers. I have my older sisters, and I have mine. And then my older brother's quilt that my grandmother made is upstairs. I found it on the closet floor, all crumbled up. I took it. I haven't washed it yet. I think I'm going to hand wash it, because it was on the closet floor, and it probably has got dirt and dust in it. And I think I'm going to put it in a tub of cool water and just kind of try to soak some of the dirt out of it and let it hang dry. I don't think I'll put it in the dryer, because this has to be, it's almost 100 years old. If she made it in the she probably made it in the late 20s. I would think she probably made it in the late 20s, that's this quilt. Because, this is 2023. It's getting close to be a 100-year-old quilt. My older brothers is a, what do they call that one with it's not a wedding ring. It's there's a name for the quilt pattern. You guys that quilt, let me kind of draw it out here. The quilt block is like this, and then it's got all these floral patterns like that. And it's a quilt block, and then they're all hooked together. That's what my older brother's looks like. My youngest brother is the wedding ring one, the wedding ring with all the little, the wedding ring one. Wedding ring one. my oldest sister's, I can't remember what hers is, but it's a baby crib one. It's not as big. And I can't remember what design hers is. I'll have to get it out and look. And then mine is a crazy quilt, you know, different shapes and different stitches in it. That's what mine is. And I've got all four. Well, I don't have my older brother's, but it's here. I can put my hands on it. And then I have a whole bunch of quilt tops that my mother, I have the quilt that my mother made for me. She made it on the sewing machine. All of these, I think, are, I don't know if they're done hand quilted or done on the machine. I can't remember. My grandmother may have done these on an old machine. I don't know as if she hand quilted these, but I know they're old. I'd have to look at them better. The one that my mother made for me when I went off to college is black and pink for the 1950s, and it's done out of this kind of a textured black and pink. I don't want to say paisley, but it's kind of like a curvy, the different kind of like that type thing. And it's just diamond squares like that. Put half of them are black and half of them are pink, and then it's all put together. And she said, I wanted to make you a quilt, and when you went off to college, I hurried and got it done, so I stitched it. She was almost apologizing to me, and I'm going, Mom, it's perfect. Because, you know, I could wrap up in it. I didn't worry about having to keep it nice and neat. It was made out of a everyday fabric that I could throw in the washing machine, and I still have that. I think I brought that home with me. And then I have a whole bunch of quilt tops. My mother was interested in quilting. She made all the quilt tops, but she never really made any. She never got to quilting them. She loved to look at all the pattern books and everything. She and the neighbors, you know, she's kind of like me. She kind of played at it. I don't play at quilting. I should, but I'm playing with all the other stuff. But and then I have a quilt that I bought while I was still working, and I paid a lot of money for it. It was hand quilted by the Amish, and it was designed by a designer, and it's a treasure. Dresden plate misspelled before. What did Leah say before? Let me go up, Leah. I don't see you be up here. Oh, maybe the Dresden plate. I'd have to look it up, Leah. I'm not sure. Good night, Kathy. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping in. Kathy says, I got to go clean up the kitchen from dinner. Have a good weekend. Yeah, we had beans and hamburger tonight for dinner. Leftovers. My brother made leftovers. He was making sure I ate because I got onto him about not eating his leftovers. So he made leftovers tonight, and I said, I got to go eat beans and hamburger. They weren't too bad. He wanted me to eat them on a bun. He says, I'm eating mine on a bun, and I'm going, no, I don't care for a bun. You know, I got out some Ritz crackers. Very blessed indeed. Elvis said, Kathy, have a safe weekend. Leah says, the quilt pattern. Oh, this one? You think this might be a Dresden? I think it's more of a floral shape. I'll get it out and you guys can, you know, I'll get these quilts out and maybe do a separate live session because I need to get them out anyway. Every now and then, I got them all rolled up in a sheet, but I need to get them, except for my brother's. My brother, the one that was on the closet floor, I pulled out of the closet floor, and our upstairs banister does not have windows, so we don't have any light. I mean, there's light in the rooms, but on the inside hallway does not have any windows. So it doesn't get any direct sunlight hitting it, and it's just draped over the banister upstairs. At least it's out, you know, halfway hanging over the railing. But I should get these out and go through them and show them to you. because I didn't want to leave them in storage. They're too dear to me. It's kind of like when you move someplace, you take what's valuable with you. Except I left a lot of up there that's in storage that means a lot to me, but I couldn't bring it all home. Ginger says, Mama was making a pinwheel quilt. I have several. I have 1100 squares. Dementia made it hard for her to remember how many blocks she had made. She kept making them, tucking them in shoe boxes. Oh, how cool. So you got all these shoe boxes of quilt squares. You know what? That can even be. And I kind of think, Ginger, that kind of happened to my mother too. As she got older, she had the interest and she could make the tops. She made a lot of the quilt tops, but she never really quilted them. So I don't want to say, my mother suffered from dementia eventually. But I honestly think if she would have had more ladies around her, my mother learned to quilt not from, just kind of like me learning to tat, from reading books. My mother did not have the internet. So she couldn't just go on the internet and learn something. She had to read about it. But she didn't really have anybody to show her how to quilt. And even the neighbor lady, she never was a part of a group that quilted or anything. Good night, Leah. You're gonna go rescue a friend who fell? Oh my goodness. I hope they're okay, Leah. You take care. Don't you fall on the way. Let's see. Kathy had to leave. Good night, Kathy. Let's see. Elvis said, Kathy, every woman around me was crafty. Elvis is saying this, but could not teach me. Even my mom, who was ambidextrous, she got so frustrated with me. I had talent around me teaching other stuff. Very blessed. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to learn by going in and digging it and doing it yourself. I'm learning a lot about tatting on the internet, but until you dig in and do some of this stuff yourself, it's just like anything. You got to learn by doing. Kathy Whitney above said, I remember Woolworths. I do too. Let's see. Kathy said, I thanked her for the happy mail. Calico Kate. I think I'm caught up in chat. Let me go ahead and finish. Now I have, see, here's that knot. I can feel it in there. I got a little knot right here. I can feel it. You can hardly see it, but I think it's going to go through my needle. I have to make the hanger on this. So I have these two, and I'm going to make this tassel, and then I'll probably call it a night. So I want to attach these two. Now, when I attached my others, I think what I'm going to do this time, instead of attaching the bottom loop to the Picasso, I'm going to turn it upside down and attach these two at the bottom. Or what I could do is tat two like this, which I might do. It's 9:45. I would like to get this done. I think I can do that in 15 minutes if you guys don't mind. I'm going to tat two rings, and I'm not going to attach it. I'm not going to join them. I'm going to have one at the top and one at the bottom. So, and I drew on my, this is actually my journal, my desk journal template. I should write template on it. I'll end up throwing it away and then, well, where's my template? Let me thread this. Sometimes the hardest part is threading the needle, but I got it. So I'm going to make 2 rings. So I'm going to leave maybe 12, a little over 12 inches there. That might be too much. And I'm going to tat with my thread still attached to the ball here. And let's get this out of the way. I'm going to save those for something else. I don't like all that extra thread on this one. I'm going to keep this one for me. I don't like how much thread there is between here and here. That's too much thread for me. I want them closer together. So I'll keep that one for me. So let's so I'm going to make a ring here. And you know, I'm going to put this down in my lap because it wants to catch on to all of this that I have going on over here. Now let's pull some out. So these rings are pretty easy. I'm not going to do a lot of explaining while I'm going. I'm just going to make them so I can get them done. That's 2, 3. I do 4 double stitches. Get in there. And kind of get them close together, as close as I can. And then a picot. I need to do another tatting video where I'm just explaining. I don't get in here much when I'm not doing lives. This is 2. 3 and 4. Now I'm going to do the top picots. So I do a small one, a small picot, a larger picot, and then another small one with double stitches in between. So there's the double stitch. Now I need to do a larger picot. Oops, that one might be small. Hold on. Let's see if I can't make that a little larger. Yeah, I goofed that up. Let's take these. Sometimes I goof them up. Well, oh, I think that'll be okay. Let's do a double stitch. Sometimes you have to knock your stitches off your needle if you goof up. Like, I'm not concentrating here. And to knock your thread off your needle, you just put everything down to the bottom and you take off the stitch that you don't like. Like I'm taking my picot off there. I want to do a better one. There we go. Then I do 4 more double stitches. And then you do another the last picot. And then 4 ending double stitches. And then you pull the ring off of the needle. So I've got, let's see what I've got here. I've got a picot, a beginning one, 3 in the center, and an ending one. So you pull your needle down. You have a loop down here. Pull your thread, your ring down, pull it off of the pull it off of the shank, the needle, and this, pull it, pull it, pull it. Put it through that ending loop. And the other day when I was tatting online, my hands were shaky. I don't know how you guys, my hand is much steadier tonight. I think I got more rest. I slept in today. I slept in, and I think a lot of my shakiness and my tiredness, I think I'm gonna give up those daytime naps. Okay. I reversed my work, and I'm gonna do one more knot down here at the bottom. And then I'm going to hurry and do the second ring. And instead of clipping this off, I'm going to make my second ring sit right on the bottom of my first ring. I'm not going to join these rings. So they'll kind of stack up. So 1. Yeah, I got to get more thread out. 2. This gets to be really easy. 3 and 4. This is not hard. If you crochet, you should get this after your beginning studies, you should get it. All right, I'm going to do the first picot. And then 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do the top 3 picots. So a small one first. Close it up, and then a double stitch. And then a large one. Which probably is about as tall as my small one, but it's a little larger. And then another double stitch. And then another small one. And then 4 double stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I got 4 on there. And then your last picot. And then 4 ending double stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I need to close up the ring. So I just pull my needle thread, keep this shuttle thread out of the way, or the ball thread, and pull your needle thread up through the shaft of the double stitches. Make your needle go through that bottom loop. You only do that when you're making a ring. You don't do that when you're making a chain, for those of you that are tatting. There we go. Now, see, these double stitches are nice. There's no gap in there. They're sitting right on top of each other. But my chain, my tie off is in the center. So I might tie this off and bring my thread. Well, I could make a loop up there, or I could bring it down here. let's just tie it first. Let's tie a knot. I like to make that ending knot, but it'll be in the center. Now, it likes to catch on to the thread, the loops. There. Now, I'm going to have 2 threads. I'll deal with them. Let's cut one off. Let's cut it off of the ball here. And where's my tassel? Here's my tassel. So I'm wanting to attach this. So I think I'm going to come down through the shank of this, like so, through the shank of those threads, because see, I'm in the center. Let's see if I can do that. I'm not sure if this is a proper way of doing things. My thread's on the back. Let's go to the back. Now I'm going to come through the center of all those double threads. I'm going to try to put my needle through it if I can again. This isn't the easiest. I might have to use a different needle. I don't want to rethread another needle. Let's just try to get in there. I'm just trying to work them in. And that big old eye has to come through there too. Now, where am I at here? Things get all twisted up. So I'm not quite, I'm just to that first Picasso. Hold on. I need to come down to here. I'm just to there, so I still have some more double stitches to go through. I think I've done it there. Let's push that through. Now, I have a thread coming out of the side here because I joined them in the middle. And then I took this other thread and worked it through these double stitches down to the bottom. And what I want to do is join that. I got all this stuff here. What is it holding on to? What is it holding on to? Jeez. Thread, it'll hold on to anything it wants to. I want to attach these stitches as a hanger, these tats as a hanger. So this is the one that's coming out of the middle, because I tatted those two together, right? I joined them at the bottom. This one, I worked down to the center Picasso, and I want to stitch it onto here. And I want to see how this works. I'm hoping this will work. So, and then I'll have this thread to deal with. But I just want to, and of course I pulled it off my needle. I want to stitch it on, and I want it to be centered, so I'm going to have to center it. And I'm going to get that shorter needle. This needle's too long now. What time is it? It's almost 10. As soon as I get disconnected, I'm going to call it a night. So I don't want to be up real late tonight. I want to try and get some rest. I'm going to try to repair my sleeping habit here to get a normal night's sleep. I haven't been sleeping good. No, look. I'm getting it all. Hold on. I got it all tasseled there, split. Let's cut a piece off. You need to take care of your health. Even when you get older, you can't just say, I'm old, I'll do what I want. You got to pay attention to your health. Now, this is kind of off center because I'm coming in, so I want to center that a little bit more if I can. Let's see if I go back through it again, if that will help, or if I have to do something else to center it. Now, let's pull it. I need it up to my nose. I think it's pretty centered. But am I happy with it? No, because I want that Picasso. I'm going to put my needle through that center Picasso. And I'm just going to keep tying it to the tassel. And I don't like that. It's still not suiting my fancy. How did that not get through the center Picasso? That's the center. Let's bring that back. And I might have to go even up above the double thread of the center Picasso because it's stretching it. Let's go way up here, right up in there, through those double stitches. I want that ring to hit the tassel. I don't want that much space. I'm gonna run out of thread here pretty soon if I'm not careful. I've got to keep it tight. I think I'm ready to make a knot. I think I'm pretty happy with it. Might put a bow or a ribbon or something on that, a charm. Got to keep it tight though. I don't have it in a knot yet. No, I messed this all up. And this is still that thread off of the center. I haven't figured out what. I think I'll just thread it through there and let it hide in there. And let's talk about hiding. Let's hide this thread. And by hiding it, I'm taking the needle and putting it through the center of the tassel and letting that thread go down the center of the tassel. And that hides the thread in the tassel, or sort of center. I'm just pulling it through the bottom here, right in there. Now this thread, I'm going to cut these. This one I'm going to keep for now. These two I'm going to trim off. Now, I still have to kind of trim some of this, but let's see what I have here. I have my little rings here. Get them all shaped and pretty. I have this thread, which needs to be taken care of, and I have this thread. I have two threads that need to be hidden, and I'll do that later because I'm getting tired. But I'm pretty happy with this, and I think I'll probably I'll shape this up a little bit more. It's a little pretty little. Let me hold it up so you guys can see it closer up. See, I've got the little tat rings there, and then here's my tassel, and then up here I have these two little tatted rings to hold it, and then I just have to take care of these threads here, and I'll probably hide them or snip them or something. And I might put a charm in here. I think it needs a gold charm or something, maybe a gold coin. I don't know. I'll see what I can find. And I want to make another one of these for giveaway. I'm going to trim off some of this too, but I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm tired. So let me get a clean sheet of paper to put that on. And thank you guys for bearing with me tonight. I know I didn't do art. I wanted to make tassels tonight. I wanted to make, let's kind of spread these out so that they don't look so bad. There. They really need to be trimmed. Let me trim them. They're bothering me. Let me trim these off. A little better. And sometimes I like to do things, just do something different. I got postcards. Next week I'm going to work on postcards. This thread is one of those that need to be hidden. If I can't hide it under the tassel for the thumbnail. So thank you guys for watching. Maybe I'll put, for my thumbnail, let's put a couple of my little tats out here so that it, this is a clover. This I didn't do tonight. This one I had. What's this? These are some little, these are the rings that I didn't use. This was probably one I was hunting for. And here's another ring. There, we'll kind of use these as my thumbnail. Oops, except it needs to be centered. I'm so good. Gotta play, get my thumbnail set up here. How is that? That's a little better. We'll leave it like that. So thank you all for spending a Friday evening with me, sharing your Friday evening with me. You know, I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate you so much. I wish you a very nice weekend. Have a great weekend. Have a relaxing weekend. Try to do something that you enjoy. And if you have to work, Try to be thankful for your work. I know that's hard sometimes. Sometimes you have to do things you don't enjoy. Straighten that out a little. Is that straighter? There we go. Ginger says, I'm trying to get back to sleeping by midnight. Me too, Ginger. I've got to work on getting my sleep back in shape. I just, it's one of the reasons I haven't been so consistent in my live streaming is I'm pooped by the time 4 o'clock in the morning comes on. I'm ready for bed. Hi, Allie K. I don't know if I welcomed you in. Thank you, Rhonda. Good night, everybody. And I agree with Rhonda. She says, everyone have a wonderful weekend and God bless. God bless each and every one of you. Send you blessings. All right. Tomorrow's Saturday. The only thing I know for sure is Beth Schuler is on at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Everything else I don't know. I lose track after a while. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Go out and enjoy the beauty of this world. Bye.